Welcome to the Selling Show, where we unpack, repack, and break down exactly how top experts sell their ideas, their value, and their services. This is your host, David Newman, and you are in the right place if you want better clients, bigger deals, and higher fees. Are you buzzworthy? I'm thinking you're not buzzworthy, and you're certainly not buzzworthy enough, but I've got the man to help you with all of that, Mr. Buzinski. Welcome to the Selling Show.
Thank you. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm super excited to have you on here. Give us a little bit of the professional backstory of how you came to the work that you're doing today, and then we'll use that as the jumping off point for our chat.
So this is only a 30-minute show, right? That's I'm going to give you guys the Reader's Digest version.
Right.
So long story short, I was a professional musician, professional jazz trombonist at the age of 13. So I got started early in understanding business because even in the junior high jazz band that went quote unquote pro, recorded an album, all that good stuff, we were learning about business there. And then I got into sales and marketing. I just kind of fell into that when I realized that food services was not where I wanted to be as a teenager. Then I spent 10 years in the Air Force. And during that time, I was still trying to, launch my professional music career as a rock and roll artist. But of course, I'm not quite tall enough, dark enough, good looking enough. That didn't go well. But when I got out of the service in 2005, I launched a recording studio. And it was kind of a learning studio, just overcoming the challenges that working musicians have with recording studios and getting the value out of that. But surviving off of starving musicians is a bad business plan. I'll tell you that right now. So it pivoted into a media production house for small businesses, which was my other, and in marketing was in my background. So that grew into creative agency. And in about 2018, had grown it into a multi-million-dollar creative agency in Alaska, of all places. But I was miserable. I was a miserable CEO that owned a job and not a company. And I wasn't paying myself what I was worth. So I was also suffering from poverty. And so in end of 2018, I broke my company up and I restarted what is now called Buzzworthy Integrated Marketing, or Buzzworthy Marketing will be the official name of it in 2023 as it becomes its own entity off of our media company. And from that, in the last few years, we have built a company that not only serves our clients better than we ever did in the creative agency world, but I am now not an impoverished entrepreneur. I'm paying myself what I'm worth. I'm able to pay my employees what they're worth. And that allows me to provide better service for our clients.
Totally fantastic. Well, you led right into my next question, which is tell us a little bit about, because obviously we'll talk about the book here in a moment, but the main part of the business. Tell us about the different revenue streams, what you sell, what the service menu looks like. Give us the whole enchilada.
The enchilada, the long, elongated elevator speech, right? Or pitch, right? So we have actually been trying to do less and less at Buzzworthy. That's what we've done. So as a creative agency, if you know what that means, it means it's all-encompassing advertising company that does all the creative work in-house. So we had video production with a video room and audio production with the audio rooms and a print shop and graphic designers and copyright. We had all of that. We were a staff of 22. Okay. Now Buzzworthy only does a handful of things. One, builds great websites, fast loading, well presenting, high converting websites. From there, everything else is an effort to push traffic to that website. So we have social media marketing, inbound, paid social media as needed. Our biggest thing is search engine marketing. Search engine marketing is huge because it is intent marketing. People are looking for what you have to offer as a service. And we focus on service-based businesses. We actually don't go into brick and mortar retail. We're not an e-commerce marketing place. And I mean, even some of the services out there like real estate and the travel industry, which we tend to not accept those. We have people that we refer them to that love that. It's just not in my passion as far as that goes. But anyway, with that, we have organic search marketing and then paid search marketing. Past that, we have conversion rate optimization. So we have clients who come to me and say, hey, we've got all this traffic, but nobody's buying our stuff. Okay, you have a conversion problem. Let's go into your website and find out why that website's not making you money. Then we pass that and people are looking to scale. We get into programmatic digital advertising. So then it's now putting gasoline on a fire that is already burning and it's burning efficiently. So now we know, hey, we put a little bit more gas, we're going to get X amount of return. We put a lot more gas, we're going to get Y amount return because it's now scalable. And that is our long-term goal with any of our clients that come to us, whether they're in the startup phase, the maturity phase, or the exit phase. Each of those have different needs. And so the integrated marketing piece is to make sure that your efforts are going towards your objectives. Because a lot of people, you will utilize tactics, they're not in line with their current goals.
Or they use tactics with no goals. Like, we should be on Twitter. We should be on Instagram. We should be spamming Facebook like 7 times a day. It's like, is there a strategy? No, not really. Is there a goal? No, not really. Is there a target? No, not really. Let's just see what happens. It's literally throwing spaghetti, right?
It's super. I have a saying it goes, a sound strategy outperforms blind tactics every single time.
Amen, brother. Absolutely.
But a strategy is nothing without a goal.
Yes.
Without a smart goal.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's funny. Another one of our guests, he was kind of giving me a hard time. We were having this goals conversation. And then, what I was saying is, goals are so important. He goes, dude, it's not about goals. A goal you might hit, you might not, who knows? Replace the word goal with target. We have targets. Because in the military, right, in the Air Force, it's like, there's a target. What do you do with the target? We hit it. We hit it hard. We make sure we hit it. That's the mission. The mission is to hit the target. So feel free to use that if it's helpful with your Air Force background.
Well, I'll tell you right now, there is arguments past even that about goals. Because if you're solely goal driven, you end up in these plateaus. Right? So if you're vision driven, right, with mile markers or milestones along the way, which can be then your goals, a series of goals, right? Then you're in a better place. Another thing that he might have, I don't know if he covered with targets, when you're on target means you hit the target at some point. Bullseye is the center, the kill shot. Okay. And in marketing, especially digital marketing, we actually look at kill shots more so because if we're always going center mass, when we miss, we still hit the target. So we still get points.
Nice. That's really, really great. Well, you have this fabulous book out called The Rule of 26. Fill us in. What is the Rule of 26? Give us kind of the high level, and then we'll take it down to eye level.
Gotcha. So the Rule of 26 helps me explain all of the things I just said our company does into 3 objectives. So the Rule of 26 states that if we increase your website traffic by 26%, then your conversion rate by 26%, and the average revenue per client by 26%, we will create a compounded output of 100% more revenue from your website.
Wow. So I want to unpack this phrase because I think a lot of web designers, a lot of digital marketing people use this, and I think you use it a different way. When we say revenue from your website, I'm just channeling our listeners. It's like, well, no one really hires me off the website. No one says, hey, I want to drop $50,000 on a consulting project. Let me search around for some websites, right? It's about outreach. It's about relationships. It's about referrals. It's about conversations. That's where we make money. But Buzz, you're saying your website will either make you money or it will lose you money. So let's demystify that and give us the real lowdown.
So statistics say that 68% of all your clients will check out your website before reaching out to you. So all of your outreach, all of your networking, all of the advertising, all of those things, especially if you're a high ticket service, which I'm a high ticket service, right? If you want to make money, you got to spend money, right? You got to invest, right? And all of your services out there are the same way. You expect people to invest in that. So if we're going to make an investment, we're going to make a sound investment, we're going to do some research. You are crazy to think that somebody's spending $50,000 with you without doing research on who you are and what you stand for.
Yeah.
And the great thing about a website, it is owned media. You control every aspect of that website. Therefore, you have control of the narrative there. So if you can get them to a place where you control the narrative and you have something that is telling them exactly what you want every single time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, never takes 6 days, never takes vacation, doesn't ask for raises, doesn't complain, wouldn't you want to put it there? Your website is your best salesperson if you let it.
Are you loving this interview as much as I am? Holy smokes. Hey, you know what this reminds me of? There's a fantastic sales book that you got to get your hands on right here, right now. It's called Do It Selling. How do I know it's great? Well, I wrote it and you need to read it. Pop over right now to doitselling.com. Now, back to our interview. I love what you said about the kind of websites that you build, right? Fast, responsive, conversion. Just like Denzel Washington, explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old. When you say conversion, what does that mean? Are we capturing an email address? Are we booking a sales appointment? What's a conversion event from a really finely tuned kind of website?
So every business owner will consider their conversion or value a conversion differently. Okay. Some people have their sales process start at a form fill. Once they have a form fill, they know exactly what their numbers are. So they know that if I get 10 form fills, I'll get 6 appointments. Out of 6 appointments, I'll get 2 new clients. So to them, from their website, all they need is this form filled out. Other people may be a call, right? Maybe you are a walk-in service, and so you need people to call for appointments. Okay, then the call is a conversion. It could be a quiz, little funnel, right? Because we know that once we do the quiz, we know that out of those, we're going to qualify X amount. From X amount, we're going to get Y appointments. From Y appointments, we'll get Z sales. So you quantify what that conversion is, and we identify that conversion by identifying your sales cycle.
Gotcha.
Not understanding your sales cycle cripples your marketing.
Yes. And
you
then
don't know how to hand them off.
Yes, exactly. So talk a little bit about search engine optimization, because I think this is kind of like the holy grail, right? Paying money to LinkedIn, paying money to Facebook, paying money to Google, right? That's paid advertising, whether it's social media or search engine or YouTube or whatever. But SEO, once you build it and if you maintain it and monitor it, that's free leads for the rest of your life. Now, talk about the difference between organic search versus paid ads.
Yeah, those are the 2 types of search marketing you can have, is organic and paid. Okay, so paid is quite simply the Google ads is, because Google owns like 90% of the market. So let's just call that. We'll talk about the gorilla and we won't worry about the monkeys. Sure. So Google ads gives you the top 3. You're competing for those top 3 spots up there. Okay. And a percentage of people always click on the ads, and a percentage of people will keep going down. Okay. Everything below the ads is organic. We have maps, which is local search marketing. So we're optimizing our Google business profiles. We're making sure that we have reviews and all the other things that put us in the map. Okay. Yeah. Those are great for people who have more impulse services, things that, hey, I'm going to need that service right now. Electricians, plumbers, home services, those types of things. Professional services that have high ticket items are usually going to be researched. And that the statistic says that 68%, and I said the wrong number earlier, 58% of people will go to your website before they talk to you. So over half, okay? Yeah. 68% of all transactions, specifically for services, start with a search query. They start on a search engine. They're researching what their symptom is, what their problem is, or the solution they're looking for. Out of those 3, okay, if it's just the symptom, they just don't know what the problem is, right? Or maybe they know what their symptoms and they're looking for the solution. So once they understand the solution, maybe they're looking for somebody to provide that solution. You have to answer all 3 of those questions in search with the different key phrases and the content that helps them get to saying, yes, that's the person I want to talk to about providing the solution. Because as service-based businesses, you only can do 2 things: solve a problem or help attain a dream. Plain and simple. There is nothing out there, prove me wrong. It's the only 2 things you can do. And usually solving a problem helps you obtain a dream. So it's really just people obtaining dreams. But problem solving is a big deal, because when we talk about the problems we have, we're usually talking about the symptoms, right? It's like if you went to the doctor, it's like he's sitting there going, my head hurts. Well, what do you mean your head hurts? Is it a sharp pain? Is it a dull pain? Is it a roaring pain? Is it in the back of your head, forward of your head? All of these things. Those are all part of the symptoms of diagnosing the actual problem. So once you understand the problem, now you can create solutions to overcome the problem, right?
Yeah.
All of those little problems help you obtain that dream. Okay. So when we're talking about search there, we're talking about people with intent. They're looking for you and they don't even know who you are. Every other type of advertising is about building your brand. Okay? Yeah. And that's very important when they do find you, is that your brand is solid. Your brand is consistent, right? Specifically to what you're doing and who you're doing it for. Okay. So that's why search marketing is so important. Now, it is a slow boat to China. As you alluded to, once you get it going, which I call critical mass, when you start getting your most profitable keywords in the top 3, traffic goes from 0 to 100 real fast. Okay. Maintaining it is a thing. It's not a set it and forget it, guys.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Everybody knows that the top 3 are the most profitable. Okay. What is it? So it's 33, it's something like 89 or so. I don't know the statistic, but it's the vast majority of all organic traffic beyond paid and maps comes from the top 3 organic listings underneath what I call the search engine results page listing. Okay. Yeah. Those top 3. So if you're in the top 3 and your competitors are not, where do they want to be?
Top 3.
Just think about it this way. Number 1 gets 33% of all the traffic from that top 10. Okay. Number 2 gets 24. And number 3 gets right around 13, 14%. Everybody else shares what's left. And the rest of the traffic is 2% past the first page. So you're sharing 2% of what's left if you're not on the first page. And you're missing out on the vast majority of the traffic if you're not one of the top 3. So if you're not in the top 3, you're trying to get there. To get there, that means you have to knock off whoever's up there. Once you knock them off, guess what? It's a game of Billy the Goat on the hill, right?
Right.
King of the hill. Who's going to be there? Because only one person can. One set of hooves can be on the top, right?
Right.
And so it's back and forth, and you're playing that game.
For sure. Well, so as we're talking, I'm again channeling our listeners, all the consultants, all the professional service providers, they're like, wow, Buzz, this seems like a lot of work, dude. I'll tell you what, we get a lot of referrals. We get a lot of word of mouth. I think we're good. Referrals and word of mouth. I don't want to spend all this time and money and energy and marketing. And I don't like marketing. I don't like sales. We have a marketing plan. It's called word of mouth and referrals. Talk to me.
If you want your business to grow predictably, you need to create levers that have a predictable outcome when you pull them. Word of mouth is not a predictable lever. Okay. Referrals are an unpredictable lever. Okay. So if you're good with just kind of status quo, where a lot of people say they're like, hey, I'm just happy. I've got a lifestyle business. Don't do this. If you're looking to grow and then eventually scale, you have to put in the work. You will put just as much effort in trying to get people to refer you and get less out of it than putting that same amount of effort in your inbound marketing efforts. You don't have to pay for the ads, but somebody has to do the work because you're either earning it or paying for it. When you're paying for it, you have to earn the money and then spend the money and then hope you get a return on investment. When you earn the exposure, that means you have to put in the work or pay somebody to put in the work for you. It's the only 2 ways to do it. There are no shortcuts. Any marketer who comes to you and says, I have a shortcut, is lying or has a snake oil option that will only work for a small amount of time and then get gobbled up by reality. And there goes your money.
Yes, so true. So thank you for totally busting that myth about referrals and word of mouth. I always look at referrals and word of mouth. That's gravy. If you're any good at what you do,
it's a bonus.
If you're great at what you do, it's a total bonus. It's a total bonus.
Is that a
reliable sales pipeline or sales process? It is not. Sitting by the phone, waiting for the next referral that you're hoping and wishing and praying, gosh, I could really use a referral this month. That is not a proactive strategy.
Yeah. And that's what, and you said it perfectly right there. Are you a reactive business owner or a proactive business owner?
Yeah, for sure.
You have to make that decision for yourself.
Yes.
Then act accordingly.
Holy smokes, so much value in this episode. Listen, if you are loving what you're hearing, feel free to download, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to The Selling Show. Now, back to the interview.
Now, I want to go back to something that you said earlier, which is critically important, I think. Your website, you own that media. That is your command center online. People are now thinking, I should really have an awesome YouTube channel. What if I build a Facebook group with thousands of my ideal prospects in this Facebook group? Talk about, is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? Should we have outposts on all of these various social platforms, or is that really just noise and distraction?
No, I think that your outposts are feeding your home base, right? So if you have a group, your group is an ongoing conversation that people are going to, they're gathering. So you get the one-to-many messaging there. That's good. We want that. YouTube, awesome place, because guess what YouTube is? It is the second biggest search engine on the planet Earth. So when you talk about a YouTube channel, you're just talking about adding more search marketing to your mix. That's it. That's all you're doing. Okay. Now, Facebook is an engagement tool. The problem with both of them is that you don't own it. So say you built a great community on Facebook. Nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people who have leveraged Facebook groups to the nth degree, 10x their businesses, whole 9 yards. Love it. And it will work for them until Meta decides to change the rules. Meta decides, you get somebody like Elon Musk that comes into Twitter and says, okay, now your blue star that made you important costs you twice as much money. What if Facebook decides we're going to monetize your groups now, and we're going to charge you for every person who enters your group? It might be 20, 50 cents a month. But if you have 10,000 people in there, what's that actually going to cost you in the bottom line, right? So anytime that you have those groups like that, those digital groups on a place that you don't own, you're just borrowing the space or renting the space if you have to pay, okay? You need to make sure you have all those people's emails, because I've watched it in the political realms, right? There's guys like Stossel, what's his first name? I can't remember his, but he's a guy who used to be on Fox News. He had the Stossel show, right? And he talked, until they canceled him. Now, he created his own YouTube channel, right? Because in between that, he was on social media until social media canceled him. Now, the reason he was able to recover from that is because he had his own website with his videos on it. He had a YouTube channel and he had their email addresses. He was always asking people, hey, you want more information? You want bonuses? Here, sign up here, get on my email list so that I can talk to you directly. Email is still the most profitable way of marketing out there once you have made an engagement.
Absolutely. Some people will ask, Buzz, how much email is too much email? So it's like, should I email once a month? Should I have my email newsletter go out once a month? Should I be emailing value items to my list every week, 3 times a week, every day? How much is too much, and how do we know how much is too much?
Okay, let's start backwards. You'll know too much is too much when people are unsubscribing faster than they can subscribe.
So as long as you're net positive, you're doing okay.
You're doing okay, because you're going to lose. And that's okay, right? People think, oh, once I get this list, then they'll always want me. No, they grow out of you, right? Yeah. What if you're a service that provides pediatric care, right? Sooner or later, they're going to grow into adults and they're not going to need that, right? So think about the life cycle of your clients as well, okay? Now, how often should you do it? How often do you need to talk to your people? What is the natural tempo of conversation? If you're a dentist, twice a year. I see you twice a year. So maybe every quarter, I'll talk to you when you're not in the office. All right? Play with it. Ask your audience. How often would you like to hear from us? And what information would you like? When you do, listen to your audience. They will tell you exactly.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Really good. As we're starting to wrap up, I would love to go into just a couple of ideas for each of the 26s.
Okay.
Right? You say if we improve column 1 by 26%, improve column 2 by 26%, improve column 3 by 26%. And of course, all of these ideas are in your fabulous book. But give us just a couple of ideas from each of those 3 levers that we have.
Okay, great. So we're going to start backwards. We're going to go with average revenue per client.
Beautiful.
Your exercise is to take a look at who is your most profitable clients. And of those profitable clients, who are the ones that you look forward to getting their emails, look forward to when they call? Okay, because not all profit is good profit.
Amen.
If your best paying client is sucks the living life out of you, and then the rest of your clients suffer, it's not truly a profitable client. Okay.
Right.
That's a cash flow client. That's all they are. Okay. So we have identified a client that both satisfies our passion, right? Because we like dealing with them, and our cash flow. That right there is the most profitable client you can have. What do they look like? Talk to them and say, what do you value most of our service? Why did you pick us? Why do you stay with us? And what can we do better? Take all of that information and now synthesize it and put that into a conversation onto your website. This right here, because this is, I'm sorry, forgot one thing. If I charged you 26% more, would you stick with us? If they don't say yes.
You literally ask that openly.
Openly. We're looking at making sure that we can continue. And right now you can use inflation as an excuse, right? But you could literally sit there and ask them, say, hey, we're looking to make sure that we can continue to give you the service and results that we have been providing for you. But we haven't raised our rates in quite a while here. We are thinking about a 26% increase. How does that make you feel? Ooh, I don't know if I would like that. Or, man, you'd be surprised how many times you're going to hear, I was wondering where you're going to raise your rents. I thought I was ripping you off. Because most of us are not charging enough. Okay.
Amen.
Right? So once you understand that, so if you can just raise your rates by 26%, you've just increased all of your cash flow by 26%. You can take all of that money right there, which is free money now, into your marketing. You don't even have to worry about, because if you're profitable enough right now, you're doing really good, right? But most of us are going to take a portion of that and feed our profit because we're not paying ourselves enough. We're in entrepreneur poverty, okay? So Get out of entrepreneur poverty, take the leftovers, and now let's take what we've learned from those interviews of our most profitable people and synthesize that conversation and put it onto our website so that we're attracting and converting the best type of clients.
Yeah.
Some of the most expensive phone calls that you will take are unqualified leads that will never buy from you. And if they do, they will suck the ever-living energy out of you. So why don't we have our website only talking to the people we want to be talking to on the other side and let everybody else go somewhere else? Once we do that, 26% average, if you have a good converting website, we're talking 1.5% of visitors are going to reach out to you, okay? 26% of 1.25% is not a lot, right? So we're talking right under 2% to get up to that. So it's 1.83% or something like that. Okay. Not a big jump, but that's 20% more opportunities that you're getting every month than you're getting right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we understand who we want to talk to, how we're going to talk to them, now we take that message and the identities of those people and find out where they're hiding. And we take that same message and we reiterate it in our marketing wherever they're hiding. Associations, clubs, anywhere that they are hiding. If you don't know where they're hiding and you want to pay for the traffic, then pay for the traffic and target the psychographics, the demographics, and the behavior sets of those people that you're trying to target. No one else. Be something to someone, not everything to everyone. When you do that, you will immediately increase your traffic by 26%. And therefore, all 26% of all three columns have been met, and you're making a compounded output of 100% more revenue.
Awesome. Really, really good. Well, two final questions. Our final question is, where can people go to get the book, get some resources tied to the book? Even before we get to that, if folks were to take one overarching concept from our conversation today about being truly buzzworthy and installing the rule of 26 in their business, what would you hope that overarching concept would be?
If you're a service-based business and you're ignoring your website, stop. You're costing yourself money by ignoring the most valuable asset known to man in the modern day, period, end of story.
Mic drop right there. Well, Buzz, tell us how we can connect with you, with the Rule of 26, the book, the resources behind the book, and we'll drop all of these in the show notes. What do you have for us?
So if you're interested in what our services are, please join us at buzzworthy.biz. And if you want to learn more about the Rule of 26, please go to ruleof26.com.
And there's all kinds of book goodies and book bonuses, and the book is available.
We're working on it. Yeah,
that fine books are sold.
The book itself is like full of stuff in it. We don't have this is not, guys, I wrote this book to help people. It's not a sales funnel. Okay.
Yeah.
We have sold thousands of these books, is a bestseller on Amazon, the whole 9 yards. And it's not for me to make a bunch of money on a bunch of people. It's about helping you get to where you need to be with your digital marketing. And if for some reason you need help, I provide free help in the book. We do that. And if you want to take it to the step further, of course, we would love to talk to you and see how we can help.
Absolutely. Fantastic. So all of those resources, the links, the website, the
social
book,
media, all that stuff.
Social media. So you want folks to connect with you on LinkedIn? Is that cool also?
Yeah, definitely. If you go to our website, you're going to be able to get all of that information as far as that goes. We actually have a new podcast called You Are Buzzworthy. You can check that out at youarebuzzworthy.biz. That one is blowing up right now, but that's basically going to the next level of getting people out of entrepreneur poverty. And entrepreneur poverty is just simply not paying yourself what you're worth, not paying yourself what you thought you would be able to when you got to the point you're at in your business.
Love it. Well, Buzz Buzinski, you are the man. You are the king of buzz. I appreciate you. Thank you for dropping all those value bombs on us.
Oh, no worries. Love it.
And that wraps up another episode of The Selling Show. Hey, tell you what, if you like us, rate us and review us on Apple Podcasts, subscribe, tell a friend, go grab the notes and downloads and extras at thesellingshow.com. See you next time.